first, here's what makes this story so shocking and why we can never forget it. Police say that the girl, a Liberian refugee, was raped repeatedly in this shed at a Phoenix apartment complex. Her alleged attackers, 4 boys, and also Liberian refugees, ages 10 to 14. The oldest boy has been charged as an adult, and the girl is now in Child Protective Services custody. The reason that she was taken from her mom and dad is maybe the most shocking aspect of this story. Police say that her family blamed her for the alleged gang rape. Meantime, friends and family of the chief suspect say he should not be charged as an adult.
He does not speak English very well, and he does not understand English very well. He did not go to school. He started going to school when he came to the United States, and so we deduce that he cannot really understand what is going on right now. And so everything that is being said to him, he has no choice but just to accept it, even though he did not understand.
He did not understand, is what the relative said there. Well, now we're hearing that the 14-year-old rape suspect did understand, and maybe all too well. Marissa Wingate from our affiliate KTVK is in Phoenix. She's been following this story for us. Marissa, what have you learned?
Well, Kira, in the newly released police report, all 4 boys admit to taking part in the alleged rape. All said they knew what they were doing. They knew it was wrong. And they say they knew the girl was screaming, begging for them to stop, but they didn't listen. And all say they should be punished.
Investigators say one of the most important things about the report is that it verifies the young suspects understood what police were saying to them during the interviews, never indicating any sort of communication problems, even though they are Liberian refugees. During the interviews, the boys described what allegedly happened inside this apartment shed using actual words for body parts and sexual acts. Some of the boys blamed the others for luring them with gum to take part in the alleged rape. They described the victim as crying and telling them to stop, but admitting they didn't listen. During the interviews, investigators asked a couple of the boys how they thought they should be punished. One said he should go to juvenile. The other said he should go to juvie if it happened again.
You have a child, a little girl that was raped. And on the other hand, now we have 4 suspects that are also young. And they are able to talk about what they did. And it's very disturbing to read it and hear it. And I'm sure it was difficult for the investigators, as they told me, to go through it. It's a tough process. And there was physical evidence and medical evidence that also corroborated all of this.
Now, the victim is with CPS, where she is expected to stay for several months. The Liberian ambassador was in town last week. He met with her. He said she was crying. He gave her a teddy bear. She was begging to come home to her family. And he says that he's advocating that happened, but not before the family receives some serious counseling and some therapy. Because if you remember, we have video of the family blaming the young girl, saying it was her fault for hanging out with the boys in the first place, even denying that it even happened. The Liberian ambassador says that was just a case of miscommunication. They didn't understand what was being said. They speak a different dialect in Liberia. But we are told it will be an uphill battle for that child to get back with the family, because police have been out there 3 times before, once for child neglect, one for alleged child abuse. So to get that child back, Kira, it will definitely be an uphill battle.
And you know, Marissa, you bring up a really good point, because that's what was so compelling about your piece. When we first heard about this, when we actually heard the mother deny that anything happened, and then we heard the sister say it was her fault. Let's just take a listen to that one more time.
Nothing happened to my daughter. And nobody not touched my daughter.
She always bring trouble. She always bring trouble. When she come, I'm going to tell her, say, don't ever do that again. Because all of us, we are the same family, we from the same place. Now she just bringing confusion among us. Now the other people, they don't want to see her.
Just hearing that again makes your heart sink. Marissa, what do you know about Child Protective Services with regard to a timeline? You know, you've mentioned a number of times in your follow-up that, you know, they're working with her and they want to make sure she goes back to a safe environment. Do we have any idea when CPS could make that decision?
We're told that will likely be several months, and police say it will be hard for that to happen because they have at least 3 police reports where the child was allegedly wandering around the apartment late at night alone. One time they said she even got lost, and one time even allegedly begging for food. These are all issues that CPS will have to look into.
Oh, boy. Well, we appreciate you following up. We want to stay on top of the story as well. Marissa Wingate, thank you so much.
Sure.
And Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf condemned that crime and urged counseling for the girl's family as well in a live interview right here in our show. And today, President Johnson Sirleaf is meeting in Liberia's capital with Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. No word on whether the case will come up, but we will keep following this story.